Welcome to Story 2, Speak. English Reading Practice. Read slowly and clearly. Try to understand every sentence. Read aloud with confidence. Repeat difficult words and sentences. Practice regularly to improve your English. For better results, listen carefully and read along with the voice. You can also use shadowing practice. As you hear the voice, read at the same time and copy the pronunciation now. Let's begin today's story.
Alex loved visiting quiet places where he could think clearly and discover something completely new. One Saturday morning, he decided to visit the town library. For the very first time, the large building looked welcoming and seemed filled with opportunities for learning, growth, and discovery that he had never experienced before. As he walked through the entrance, he immediately noticed the silence. Students were reading at tables, while others explored different shelves, searching for books they needed. The peaceful atmosphere felt refreshing. Compared with the noisy streets outside, sunlight entered through large windows, creating a comfortable environment for reading and concentration. Alex slowly moved between shelves, looking at hundreds of interesting books. Every section offered something different, from history and science to biographies and adventure stories. The variety surprised him greatly because he had never imagined that so much knowledge could exist inside a single building, filled with books and ideas. Near the entrance desk, he noticed a friendly librarian arranging books. She smiled warmly when she saw him and politely asked whether he needed any assistance. Alex explained that this was his first visit to the library and that he wanted to develop a stronger reading habit to improve himself every day. The librarian seemed pleased and introduced him to different sections. She explained how the library worked and recommended several books for new readers to explore. After thanking the librarian, Alex began exploring on his own. He carefully examined book covers, read descriptions, and compared titles before making his first choice. Eventually, he discovered a biography about a successful entrepreneur. The title immediately caught his attention because it promised valuable lessons about perseverance and determination. Carrying the book carefully, he found a quiet reading corner. Near a large window, the comfortable chair invited him to sit down and begin reading. As he opened the first page, the story introduced a young dreamer who faced many difficult challenges but refused to give up. Despite every obstacle before him, the opening chapters felt inspiring. Because the lessons seemed practical, Alex realized that success often required consistent effort, patience, and discipline, rather than natural talent alone. Without noticing the passing time, he became completely absorbed in the story before him. Every page offered valuable insights that encouraged personal growth. When he finally looked up, the library seemed much quieter. Several students had already left, while others remained focused on their reading and studies. Alex checked the time carefully and realized the afternoon had passed much faster than he had expected, because the book was fascinating. Before closing the biography, he wrote several important notes. The lessons seemed valuable enough to remember and apply in his own daily life. The author described many struggles that appeared impossible to overcome, yet persistence and determination helped create remarkable success over many years of effort. Those ideas stayed in Alex's mind as he reflected quietly. He understood that improvement required patience, consistency, and action, rather than quick results alone. After finishing another chapter, he carefully closed the book and carried it toward the librarian at the desk to discuss what he learned. The librarian listened attentively. While Alex shared his thoughts, she seemed pleased by his enthusiasm for learning and his growing confidence. She recommended several other books with similar, inspiring themes. Each title focused on growth, discipline, leadership, and self-improvement through real-life experiences. Alex thanked her sincerely for the helpful recommendations. The library already felt like a place where he could continue growing. Before leaving, he borrowed one of the suggested books. The story looked interesting and promised many practical lessons for young readers like him. Walking through the library again, he noticed details he missed. During his first exploration, every shelf seemed filled with opportunities for discovery. The peaceful environment motivated him to return again very soon. He wanted to develop a strong reading habit and continue learning consistently. As he approached the exit, he looked around one last time. The library no longer felt unfamiliar. Instead, it felt welcoming and full of possibilities. Outside the building, the sunlight felt bright and refreshing. Alex carried his borrowed book while thinking about everything he had learned that day. During the walk home, he knew this visit was only the beginning of a much larger journey that would change his future. The following week, Alex returned to the library, feeling excited. He was eager to discover new books and fresh ideas that could expand his knowledge. As he entered the building, the familiar atmosphere welcomed him. Students were reading quietly nearby, and the peaceful environment immediately improved his focus. Alex walked toward the shelves that he had explored before. This time, he felt more confident selecting books on his own without assistance. While browsing different sections, he noticed a display table filled with recommended books chosen by library staff for curious young readers. One particular title attracted him because of its interesting cover. The description promised valuable lessons about creativity, leadership, and growth through real-life experiences. After borrowing the book, Alex found his favorite reading corner. Sunlight streamed through the windows, creating a comfortable atmosphere for learning and reflection. As he began reading carefully, the author shared inspiring stories about people who transformed challenges into opportunities through persistence and a positive mindset. Every chapter offered practical ideas that felt useful and realistic. Alex frequently paused to reflect on how the lessons applied to his own life. Several pages later, he discovered a passage about daily habits. The message explained that small actions repeated consistently often produce remarkable results. That lesson impressed Alex greatly because it matched his experience. Regular reading had already improved his confidence, vocabulary, and focus within only a short time. Determined to continue improving himself, he wrote important notes inside a small notebook so he could remember the most valuable ideas. Time passed quickly once again. While he remained focused reading, the library felt peaceful and free from distractions, allowing him to concentrate fully. Eventually, Alex closed the book and looked around thoughtfully. Many students were studying, while others discussed projects with their classmates nearby. Watching them reminded him that learning takes many forms. Some people learn through books, while others learn through conversation, experience, and teamwork. The realization broadened his perspective and encouraged him to remain open to different methods of learning and personal development throughout his journey. Before leaving his reading corner, Alex selected another interesting book. This one focused on communication skills and confidence in everyday situations. The librarian noticed his choice and smiled approvingly. She explained that strong communication often helps people share their knowledge more effectively. Alex appreciated the advice because improving communication skills was one of his goals. He wanted to express his thoughts with confidence. After borrowing both books, he spent a few minutes exploring sections he had not visited during previous trips to the library. Each shelf contained fascinating topics, from science and technology to history, culture, and art. Every section seemed capable of teaching something valuable. The more he explored, the more curious he became. Knowledge appeared endless and exciting, with new discoveries waiting around every corner. As the afternoon continued, Alex felt grateful for the opportunity to learn in such an inspiring and supportive environment. Before heading home, he stopped at the front desk to thank the librarian for her encouragement and helpful recommendations. The librarian encouraged him to continue reading regularly. She reminded him that every book offered lessons worth exploring and understanding. Alex promised he would return soon for another visit. Reading had become an important part of his daily routine and personal growth. Leaving the library once more, he carried several books and many new ideas that would inspire future learning and self-improvement. During the walk home, He reflected on everything he had learned that day. The lessons felt meaningful and practical for everyday life. The experience strengthened his belief that consistent learning matters. Every visit to the library helped him become more knowledgeable, confident, and focused. That evening, Alex opened one of the borrowed books and began reading immediately. Excitement motivated him to continue his learning journey as another chapter of growth began in his life. Alex looked forward to future library adventures and many discoveries yet to come.